Welcome to Cosmic Channels. Please call 1-833-703-0424. The Cosmic Channels are open. All right, we're live. I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
Braden got stuck. If you've ever watched the show Highway Through Hell, that highway, Braden, he didn't make it.
He's currently going through hell.
He's currently going through the highway of hell.
Yeah.
So hopefully he makes it. If you don't know, the Coquihalla Highway in British Columbia, it comes out of nowhere and just dumps just mountains of snow out of nowhere.
And fog.
Fog.
Ice,
It's just so
carnage.
just
And
trash.
awfulness.
And there's no other. The only other way around is like a big long detour.
Dude, I drove that thing every 4 days.
That's crazy. I can't believe
It
that.
was fucking miserable, man. I do not miss that whatsoever.
Like
Getting off a 12-hour night shift and being like, well, time to drive for 4.5 hours
Yeah.
on Coke. Let's do it.
That was impressive. I don't know how you
Not
did that.
really. No sleep and just zero regard for my life. Just making it happen because I want to be at home.
It's fair.
Yeah, not great.
All right, if you're watching live, we're taking all calls, paranormal, ghost stories, UFOs, thoughts and theories. Well, Braden's not here, so he's fair game. You want to come in and give a nice roast to Braden?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Number 1-833-703-0424. Because we do it second and fourth Sunday of the month. Some months, like the second Sunday, is actually like a 3-week break, and this is one of those months. So hopefully people got the memo. Got the memo.
We got the let's see who calls in. We had some people saying they were going to call in, but you usually get that and then they forget, or people get busy.
People get busy.
Happens. That's life.
Andrew, are you just celebrating your victory today?
Buddy, we didn't lose.
Didn't lose?
That's all that matters. We didn't fucking lose. Listen to this. We didn't lose, so we're not going 0-17. All right? And we still get the first overall draft pick this year so far. I'm ecstatic here.
Win-win.
Best of both worlds.
All right.
Couldn't be happier.
We're going to bring in our first caller.
Ooh.
Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Am
Hey,
I the first caller?
first caller of the night.
Oh, okay, cool.
What's your name?
I told you I'd call. I told you it'll be boring. This is boring.
Hey, we'll be the
I have
judge.
no story.
We'll be the judge. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Anyway, how you guys doing? My name's JV, and I'm calling from Escapade, Oregon.
Right on. Thanks for the call.
Oh, yeah, thank you for answering. I'm
Hell yeah.
surprised I got right through.
All right. So
So anyways,
what do you got for us?
yeah, I don't have anything. I told you I'd call. I told you I'd be boring.
Perfect.
Me calling and being boring.
Tell us a story.
I like a guy who keeps his promises.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got some questions? You got a story? What you
kept
got?
his word. He's guy's true to his word. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do?
Tell
I
us-
mean,
Song or a joke?
Just
Song
tell
or a joke? Let's
tell us
go.
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
whatever you got. Let me fill up my whiskey here.
Oh man, I don't know. I wish I had whiskey.
What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do? I'm packing up to go to Phoenix in 2 days
Oh, that's all right.
and get warm. That's a good thing. But actually, it's kind of warm here in Oregon right now because we got that Pineapple Express going through.
Right. Yeah, we get that same system. Is this dumping rain there? Same as here?
Actually, right now, it's really clear skies. Nice full moon. Stars are out. It's pretty amazing.
Well, that's better than here, so
That's pretty shitty here.
pretty shitty at the moment. All right, so
Yeah, man.
you're going to
Right on.
you're going
Anyway.
to you're going to Arizona.
Yeah, sure am. Where it's warm.
All right, make sure you keep those eyes on the skies and
my-
let us know if you see any UFOs.
I surely will.
All right, well, we got to
Anyways,
hang
thanks
up
for
on
taking
you.
my call. Thanks for letting me talk. Okay.
No worries,
problem.
man.
Thanks for
Have a
calling.
good night. Bye.
Yeah, take it easy, buddy.
Later on,
Right,
guys.
new rule. Got a new rule. If you're gonna call in and you don't have a story, it's gotta tell a joke or sing a song. Song or a joke.
It's fair. Fair rule.
Song to the first chorus, not the whole song.
Yeah, well, it depends how good it is. We'll be the judge. We'll fucking gong you.
We'll cut.
If
Yeah,
you're
we'll cut
terrible,
you
we'll
off.
gong you. Yeah.
All right, we got another caller just like that.
Beautiful.
Hello, Cosmic Channel.
Hey, this is Zell.
This is Zell, Dan, and Andrew.
Hey, how's it going, man?
No, just so.
And Andrew's here.
And Dan.
Absolutely.
And Dan, my guys. Where's Braden at?
He's dead.
In hell.
Mm.
Frozen hell.
That's a true story. He's actually stuck on the highway through hell. So we wish him the best.
Holy hell, I can't believe I'm on the line with you guys. Hi, my name's Troy.
Troy, where are you calling from?
I'm
You
calling
calling
from
from Troy?
Southern California.
Troy.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. From,
lame.
From
You nailed
SoCal.
it.
Right on, brother. What do you got for us tonight?
yeah, Southern California. I'm not sure what you guys were talking about tonight, but I have like kind of an interesting kind of, I don't know if it's like a Men in Black, but it's kind of like an alien story.
That's perfect.
UFO
Sure.
kind of story.
We like aliens.
All right. Just so you guys know, I've been sitting on this. I've had an alarm set on my phone for like months, waiting to call in to you guys and tell you the story. And tonight felt like the perfect night. So,
There we go.
Excited.
Dedication.
So this is about a couple years ago. Yeah, thanks, man. I love you guys. I've been listening to you guys for years. So,
Cheers.
but anyway, I'll try to keep it short and simple. I know you guys got the whole show to run, but a couple years. I lived in San Diego for years, from 2017 to like 2020. Or 2017, like 2016, 15, not important. But we got a big military base there. And I was just there going to college, you know. But when you live that close to a base, you meet like a lot of guys from the military.
Right.
And one night, I was walking home from some like party, and I hear these like three guys yelling in the parking lot of it was like a Sevi or a Circle K. And they're trying to buy weed. And I sold weed at the time. So I was like, hey guys, like, you want to come over to my place? Like, it's just a hop and a skip. Like, come on over.
You guys want to buy some drugs?
It's a long.
Did you give him the Snickle Fritz or the good stuff?
No, they definitely got the good stuff. But the next couple times they came around, they got the Snickle Fritz.
Nice.
But one guy, his name was Josh. He's the one I remember the most. He was the one yelling like an obnoxious little child, like in the middle of the Circle K trying to find some weed. And so I invite him over, and and we start chatting, you know, and they're really cool guys, but they're all Marines, and they're there at Camp Pendleton, and they're being drug tested constantly. So they're like, you can't, like, you know, I'm not going to call you very often, but when I do, it's like, you know, give us the good shit kind of thing.
Right.
And so over like a year or so, we kind of became friends, and like he'd come over and they'd smoke at my place because they lived on base and whatnot, and like we'd get to talking. And so like one day, like they come over and they're like, we're about to be deployed. We're going to be gone for like 6 to 8 months. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, get me out when you get back. And so 6 to 8 months goes by. I move into a new place. I'm like going on with my life. Completely forgot about the guys. And this guy, Josh, calls me. He's like, hey, Troy, like, I got to talk to you. And, you know, I'm a pot dealer who believes in aliens. So, like, these guys totally know, like, they've heard, you know, all my random rants about, like, this, that, and the other, UFOs, whatnot.
Right.
And Josh comes over, and he's like, I got to talk to you, man. Like, is anyone at your house? I'm like, no. And he comes over and sits down, and this guy is got, like, a white ghost face. Like, he is freaked the fuck out. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you in forever. Like, how you doing? You know, you want to smoke some weed? And he's like, dude, no, I don't want to smoke some weed. Like, I'm freaking the fuck out. I just went, this is what he told me. He went overseas. They're doing some kind of Marine training. They were going to, like, the Arctic or some shit, like, where it was really cold. Like, he was telling me that they were building, like, fucking igloos under the snow, you know? Like, that was the kind of training they were doing. Like, where they were sleeping in a snow igloo thing every night. Like, it was, like, intense stuff.
Rough.
And he was like, he's like, I'm going to quit the Marines. And he, out of all three of the guys I met, like, this was the guy who was like, I'm going to be fucking Saving Private Ryan. Like, he was really into the Marines. And so this was like a total shock. I was like, what? You're going to quit the Marines? He's like, dude, they asked me to do some stuff that I could not do. like I could not do. I'm like, well, what kind of stuff? And he's like, he got real shifty about it and didn't want to talk with me in my apartment. I'm like, let's go for a walk. So we go for a walk down the street, and like we're just chatting. And this is right when like the CIA made that whole website where you could access all of the Freedom of Information kind of acts. Like, and I was getting real into like reading about all of the remote viewing stuff. And so I was kind of just chatting, because that's what I was doing. I was just kind of chatting about like, you know, what's going on with me, because he seemed like really off. And I'm like, yeah, man, I've been like reading a lot about this, like blah blah blah. And yeah, just so you get for context, like I did not live in a very nice part of San Diego. Like if you go a couple miles, it was nice, but like I kind of lived in like the trap. Like it was just half the businesses on the street are just closed. You know, they got bars and, you know, wood on the windows. Like there's nothing there. And there was nobody on the street. This was like 2 a.m. And we're walking down, and he's like, man, I got to tell you something. Like, we went out on a Navy vessel, and we were cruising out, like, on our way to wherever the hell they were going. And he's like, about 7 or 8 days in off the coast of San Diego, we encountered this insane orb, like this giant orb, he said. He said that it was out in the middle of the ocean, like they got called like all hands on deck, like, you know, he was doing fucking whatever, and they cruise out, and like he goes out to the deck, and he said that he looked out, and there is this ginormous glowing blue orb just like hovering over the surface. And they cruise up next to it, and he's like, I'm like, was anybody else there? And he's like, dude, everybody was there. It's the craziest thing in the world. How could everybody not be there, you know? And I'm like, did you get any videos of it? Like any photos? And he's like, yeah, man, like it's the first thing I did. I pulled my phone out, I started recording it. According to him, he said that they got within 100 feet of it. The words he used were a football field. Like we got within a football field distance. And he said it was massive. Like it's been a while, but I remember him saying like it was from his eye, like maybe 100 or, you know, a couple 100 feet, like wide, like and tall. Like it looked like a craft. Like it actually looked like a giant craft, he said. And it was glowing kind of like blue. But he said it wasn't like emitting like it, because it was in the middle of the day. He didn't say it was like emitting kind of a blue color. He said like the thing kind of had like a blue sheen to it, almost like oil, like when it's on water, you know, like when it rains out kind of thing. And so, you know, like he was real shook about it. And this was before they even did any of the marine shit he was doing. And so I was like, dude, did you get videos of it and whatnot? And he's like, yeah, I did. And I'm like freaking out about it. It's like, you know, he took tons of videos and pictures, and I'm like, why are you freaking out? And he's like, because the day that we were gonna come home, that we were docking back in San Diego, he said his entire room was raided, and all of his electronic devices, his hard drive, which he said it was on. He said it was on my hard drive. I made sure when I got back in my room, I put this shit on my hard drive so that it would not be like, so that he would have it, you know?
Yeah.
And he said his entire room got raided, his laptop got taken, and his hard drive got taken. And he said he was not the only one either. He said, like, probably most of them, yeah, if, like, anybody got, like, photo evidence of it. But he said he was told by his direct supervisor or superior or whatever, like, you're not allowed to talk about this.
Toss it in.
And it really fucking shook him. Like, a week later, I texted him, and he was like, hey, man, like, I can't talk to you anymore. Like, things are getting crazy. And then I never heard from him again. But the weirdest part was while we were walking down the street.
Hold on. What do you mean you never heard from him again? Like that was.
I never heard from him again.
It's good. He got fucking neuralized, man. Forgot all about you.
They
That was it.
torched him.
Maybe, man. Like, I don't know. Like, because he was like, I'm going to leave, you know? Like, he's like, I'm dropping out of the Marines. Like, what, you know, whatever it takes. Like, I got to get out. Like, that was kind of his mindset, you know? And I was like, well, shit, maybe he just, like, left the Marines and went back to whatever state he was from. And, like, I never heard from him again. But I'd known this guy for, like, a year. I'd never seen him, like, weird like this. Like, he was, like, and I felt like there was shit he wasn't telling me. Like, you know, like he seemed like he was telling me kind of the bare surface of kind of what he had seen or maybe what had gone on. Like, I don't know if it was because of the Marines or because of what he saw. Like, it was honestly one of the most bizarre and unexpected conversations I'd ever had with a person.
Yeah, no doubt.
And what I gotta get this out, like what was weirder was because we were walking down the street while we were talking about this, and again, this is in a neighborhood where no stores are open. It's like 1 a.m. Like it's totally late at night, and out of nowhere, like after he tells me this story about like 200 yards in front of me, I see this old guy. He's like probably in his 60s. He's wearing like a weird button-up shirt. It's like tucked into his pants, like totally out of the character for the neighborhood that we're in. Like I even remember looking at him as we were talking and walking and being like, I wonder what the fuck this guy's doing. Like, because there's nothing open. Like, it's late at night, and it's not a neighborhood that you would wear like a button-up tucked in.
Is the button-up black?
Pants, you know?
Black?
It wasn't black. No, think more like you're meeting like this girl you've been dating for 2 weeks for the first time, parents. Like the shit that her dad's wearing. Like just kind of like weird, like khakis and like
So
a
he's wearing
brown
some like
belt
white
and,
Air
like,
Monarchs, Kirkland
yeah,
jeans.
totally.
Right. Cell phone.
Okay,
But,
we're
like,
sending
walk
you in to
past
observe
it.
this marine in a less than affluent part of San Diego. You better dress like you belong there. So
Fit in.
button up. Really don't know how to dress like normal people.
Exactly, right. It seemed weird. Like it was weird enough for me to be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But like I was so engulfed in this conversation I was having with this guy that like I just put it out of my mind, you know? And as we walked past him, I shit you not, like he puts his hand on my shoulder. And I forget the terminology, like the phrase he actually said, but it was something to the effect of like, he's like, what did he say? He was like, yeah, man, they're always watching. Like, be careful what you talk about. Be careful what you talk about was the definite thing that he said, for sure. But I forget what he said before that. It was something along the lines of, like, you can never be too careful, you know, be careful what you talk about. Or it was like, watch what you say, like, be careful what you talk about. It was something like that.
So
And
he
it
gave you like
completely,
he gave you a veiled threat. Is what it sounded like.
yeah, it was fucking weird, man. And it totally
What did you
put me
Did you
off.
tell him like, fuck you? Why are you telling me this? I don't want to hear this shit.
That-
I don't want to get
I'm glad you asked
suicided.
that. That's
that
exactly
shit
what I
yourself.
told him. The exact phrase I said to him back was, who the fuck are you to tell me what I'm going to talk about? Like, do you have something that you want to contribute to the conversation? Because there's no way he could have heard anything we were talking about. Like, we're smoking a joint, like, we're just walking down the street. Like, most of everything we talked about
hold on.
was,
Sorry. Button Up is the guy that told you that shit?
yes, he put his hand on my shoulder as we passed him.
Oh
Stopped
my god.
in our tracks.
He's got you
That's a
bugged.
shit.
Surprised you didn't do a little stranger danger, quick little uppercut and get the fuck out of there. Like, get away from me, dude.
I got a small frame, man. I'm not fit for uppercuts.
I
My
got a
friend
small
was the
frame too,
Marine,
dude.
all right?
Carry a whistle. Blow the whistle.
Carry a
that shit.
whistle.
Carry a whistle, dude. And run.
Hey, awesome. Hey, thanks for the
I
call.
definitely
Before we
felt
let you
that
go, though,
I
way
got
what do you think? What's your final thoughts on this whole situation? What do you think that was there?
I really believe my friend. Like, he had heard me for, over a year talk about, like, aliens, my thoughts on them. Like, this is right when I was really getting into it. Like, I really think that this guy saw something that shook him. I really believe that he saw this. And I think even, like, more than that, like, I think what really probably made him come to me first and then say he was leaving the Marines, which I think he did. Like, I think he actually left the Marines. Was
Yeah,
the
'cause he
fact
died.
that his,
Left in a
They
body
took care of
bag.
him.
maybe, yeah, fucking maybe. But like, I think it was
He's working at
all
the
this shit
fucking
got
post
taken. Like,
office
I
now
think
because he
that
got
was, like,
neutralized.
yeah, maybe. But I really do think that he saw this shit, like, like with the Gimlet videos, like all this shit off the coast of San Diego. Like, I think he probably saw something, and I think it like shook him that all of his shit was taken before they got back to San Diego. And I think he found that like just way too weird to fathom, and he was like, "Fuck this, I'm out. Like, I don't want anything to do with it."
Yeah, I could see that.
And who knows, man? Like, probably a Men in Black. According to him, because he called me at like 12:30 p.m. I was probably the first person he saw or went to right after he got off the boat. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was somebody like following him because they had just seen some shit, you know, the big ass Navy boat. Like I would not
Don't
be
trust
surprised at all.
Anybody hanging
Random
around
man.
San Diego at night in business casual doing nothing in his 60s. Like, don't
Does,
ever.
doesn't,
No, sir.
doesn't fit in.
No, sir.
Fuck
That's a
no.
big red flag.
Hey, all right, brother. We got to
Yeah,
keep.
the
we
guy
got-
could have been an alien.
hey, could have been.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, we're gonna keep the lines moving, but we appreciate the call. And if you ever hear from that guy again,
Sounds good,
make
man.
sure to let us know.
Thank you guys. Keep it up.
Take care,
You
dude.
guys in the skies.
Yeah, you too, brother. Cheers. We got 100-foot orb.
Scary.
Guy sees it.
Seems
It's
really
kinda-
interesting that they would let them up on the deck because usually when that kind of stuff happens, you don't let anybody out on the deck.
Maybe they didn't let him. Maybe they just all ran up there because like this.
Fuck is this?
No,
What
I
the
mean
fuck
you
is
like
this?
you like batten the hatches down,
Keep everyone inside.
pretty much.
I
If
mean,
it were
we
something
do-
like that, they would probably keep everybody inside. The only
We
time they
do-
usually get to see people like stuff like outside the ship is kind of like I don't know, like and when everything's like normal and like everybody's taking a smoke break. I mean, I didn't smoke, so like there was one point on the ship I didn't see daylight for 2 weeks.
Jesus.
That's
I didn't see
crazy.
natural light for 2 weeks.
You don't have some random dude up on the top being like, "There's a whale! Everybody, quick!"
Yeah.
Well, there's people on the top side. You have people on the top side up in the con tower, like looking around. Like there's people up there that see. But I work down in the below deck, so it was like never went up that high.
Right.
You were like fucking mankind working in the boiler room, twisting wrenches and shit.
I mean,
eh?
yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much to a T.
All right, let's bring another caller on. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hello?
Hello, you're live.
Hello? Oh, hi. My name is Sean. I'm from Santa Barbara.
Hey, thanks for the call.
And, so I have a short story.
Perfect.
So me and my boyfriend, he has a van that he converted to, like, sleep in and, like, camp in. And so we
Like
were
van
camping,
life?
or we were, like,
Hashtag van
Huh?
life.
yeah, exactly. So we were out one day anyway. So we slept on this street and next to his house. And then I think it was fine, whatever. So then we were sleeping and then I wake up in the middle of the night and I pop up and like I was having one of those dreams that was the dream of what we were actually doing. So I was dreaming of us sleeping there and I saw us sleeping and then I'm awake in the dream and then I wake up and it's the exact surroundings and then I look out the side window and then there's like this really like a dark figure with a huge perfectly round head but extra huge.
Perfectly
And,
round,
You know,
like a watermelon
yeah,
or a
like
pumpkin,
Well, that
no,
would be an
like
oval.
a globe,
like a
circle head,
Straight
no
sphere.
features
Like a
or anything.
cantaloupe.
just like
We're talking like a
Yeah.
basketball, or are we talking about Hey Arnold here? Like, what are we referencing?
Again,
like
that's a
three
football.
basketball score, like
Gotcha.
oversized head for its body.
Wait, so I just got to stop the story for a second. So you were sleeping or were you awake?
No, it's one of those dreams where I'm sleeping. Reality, I'm sleeping, but in the dream, I'm dreaming of us in the van, and I'm awake in the dream, and he's sleeping next to me. Like,
Mm.
Is that
There's
called a
sirens in
lucid?
the distance.
I
I'm
heard-
dreaming
there
of
is-
the Egyptians.
There is sirens in the distance. I don't know how often do you listen to this show?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Wait, what? How often do I listen to the show?
Yeah.
Oh, often. You download it all the time.
We're
Okay.
getting the climax here. Let's go.
Okay,
Come
let's
on.
keep going.
I want to hear this. I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm scared of fucking basketball.
Let's see, basketball head.
Okay, so I'm dreaming of us in the car. I'm dreaming of that. That's what I'm dreaming. And on the dream, I'm awake and I'm looking out the window, and then that black figure with the huge round head is looking through the window at me. And then I wake up in real life, and then I'm like, because it felt so real, and it was like, oh my gosh. And then I look through the window, and obviously there's nothing there. But then he wakes up next to me, my boyfriend, and he's like, I woke him up, and in his dream, he had a black figure on top of his chest, holding him down and whatever, like that. And it was
With a
just really
basketball head?
interesting that,
Big head?
Big head?
huh?
Did he
Big
does his shadow person have a big head as well?
What did that person look like? I don't think so. He's here next to me. I don't think he would.
It was just a shadow figure that somehow I became in like a tussle. I came in a tussle with, and this has happened throughout my life. So like usually I tend to try to wake myself up by thinking of positive things or something spiritual or religious, that brings you to that happy spot, and it usually like will calm me down enough to where I could wake up. But in the midst of it, I've looked it up. It's called like sleep paralysis, or some people call it sleep paralysis. But I've felt it like a negative entity every time I've come in contact with this. But yeah, it was like a dark shadowed figure that in my dream I walk into a room, and as I go to open the door, this figure lunges at me, and I'm like grabbing it to stop it from grabbing me, almost like it wanted to get inside of me. So I was in the middle of that tussle.
Try to get up in
When
Trying to fucking infiltrate.
yeah, when whoa. But yeah, basically when my girlfriend like woke me up and basically saved me from the battle, because I was kind of like even trying to scream for help, but when you're in that state, you can't move, you can't scream, you can't get up, you can't breathe. It feels like there's like a giant weight on your chest.
Right. Hey, the cops are coming. So, quick resolution to the story. What happened?
No,
Quick.
basically
They're on their way.
I saw.
I can hear the sirens.
What are you talking? I'm so confused. What are you talking? I saw the figure. He felt the figure. That's basically what happened.
So it could have been.
And I wanted to go back to that spot again, but I'm too freaked out that it might get worse.
That.
Yeah, don't go back there.
Don't
Bad
ever
idea.
Go back there. You get basketball hit all
Dude,
over you.
don't sleep in a van in that same spot again.
So you're getting attacked by interdimensional shadow people, demons, and just you woke.
I know.
You woke
I know.
you woke
you might say, "Oh, we're back some more."
You woke your boyfriend up just in time though, because they're about to get him.
Exactly.
Saved him.
Yeah.
All right, the
Treat you right.
the cops are the cops are banging at my door. We're gonna have to let you go, but we appreciate the call.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Whoop whoop.
It's funny when people don't know the Dream Police, man. They come.
The chat knows what's up.
Fucking-
knows it.
they're knocking on my door right
Somebody's
now.
about to get pistol
They get
whipped.
Textbook case for the Dream Police.
I was in a dream, but I woke up in my dream.
In my dream.
The siren-
I got a little too Inception for me at the beginning part.
The sirens, I could hear them over the horizon here.
Oh, yeah, man.
They're bouncing.
They're loud.
If the listener doesn't get the joke, you haven't listened to every episode of Cosmic Channels yet. Go back to the.
I thought they're gonna wake up and see the figure there when they woke up. I'll be like, okay, that's
Oh,
fucked up.
that yeah. I
That's
really
Like,
awoke.
if you know that you're 100% awake and jump out the car, and then you tell me it's out there, I'd be like, yes, that's crazy.
All right, let's bring another caller in. Hello,
Howdy.
Cosmic Channels.
Jericho or Shadow Worthy from Discord, Kentucky.
Oh, Shadow Ursi, welcome back, brother.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good.
I have a paranormal story for you guys.
All right,
Get
man.
activated.
Let's activate. Let me pour another glass of whiskey here.
So I used to be in the Army, and I was deployed once. And I was on a small FOB in Syria, a forward operating base. And there was 5 towers around the base. And on little FOBs like that, you have to do what's called a tower guard. There always has to be a person in the tower to watch, make sure nothing's coming at all times. And we rotated every few hours, right? Well, the tower guard would be going on through the night as well. So there'd be times where you have to be standing at the tower by yourself for up to like 2 to 4 hours at a time in darkness, and you have to watch outside, your like wall, right? And it gets boring up there. You're not allowed like music, obviously. You have to pay attention to things. But one night I was sitting up there, and about halfway through my guard duty, out of nowhere on the wooden steps behind me, I just hear the thud, 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 like someone walking up it. And I didn't think any of it at the time because the way it worked is there was a roaming sergeant that would go around to every tower to make sure that the person at guard was awake and vigilant, right?
Right.
He'd go around once every hour, so I thought it was him. So I turned around, I was like, oh, hey, Sergeant, and no one was there, but I definitely heard the thud of boots going up my steps.
Oh, ghost boots.
I mean, I would have thought it was just a random occurrence, but there was stories prior to that I have heard from other people who had been on the tower.
That same tower?
The same tower and 3 of the other ones. I had a buddy who, one time when he was up in a different tower, he actually had to climb like a ladder to get up to it. It's weird to describe, but it's like this tube you had to climb up on, and it's like maybe like 15 feet. It's not high, but it opens to like a trap door, and you go up there, and it's like closed off. Like the only way up and down is like through this ladder. But I had a dude, a buddy, who said that he heard a knock on the trap door, and again, you know, he thought it was the sergeant, you know, coming by to make sure he was okay. And when he lifted it up, no one was there, but someone would have had to climb up the ladder and knock on it.
Did anyone die, like while on duty on those towers or anything?
No. My whole deployment, we hadn't lose anyone. But again, the area is somewhere that the unit before me would have had to have like confiscated and then built up the little fob I was on.
Right.
And then we took it occupied.
Fuck. But just footsteps, nothing like brushed your shoulder or tried to like pulled on your.
No. It wasn't like, oh, I think I heard something. I definitely heard the thud of heavy boots up the wooden behind me.
That's fucked.
And
what's your theory?
What
do you think?
I think it's haunted. I mean, with all the stuff going around, and you know, in those areas, all the, you know, the terror and fear, you know.
Phantom Soldier.
I wouldn't doubt that something, you know, stayed over from all of that.
Yeah.
But
well, multiple people have heard the same kind of footsteps up the tower while they're on duty. So. There was at least the other story I told, and one other person that I know of that has also told me their experience at a different tower from the 2 I mentioned. You know what? You're on duty. You're already on edge. Like anything can happen at any time, and then ghosts on top of that. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. Give the guy a break.
Rip
here.
the energy, make up for spirits.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Awesome, brother. Hey, well, thanks for calling back in, telling that story.
Of course. Thank you for answering.
All right, man. We'll talk to you on Discord.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Take care, man.
Bye. Yeah, that's the last thing you want. Like, you're on duty, you're in a foreign country, you're already on edge, and then
your hypervigilance is like at an all-time high here. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want. Just like that, another caller. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chris from Denver.
Chris from Denver, welcome back to the show.
Chris from Denver.
Calling for the first time in ages.
Yeah, man, it's been a while.
I just got released from the lizard people when I quit my job, so y'all are the first people I called.
That's
sure.
We appreciate that.
It.
Spill the beans. What's happened?
Nothing crazy. They're just doing a whole bunch of new construction at the airport. But I had a different thing to call you guys about, a little thought experiment, I guess, that I came across the other day.
Sure.
All right.
All right. So, how do you guys generally feel about AI? Like, it's not the worst thing, not the best thing, right?
I mean, it all depends on what AI we're talking about. If we're talking about like
how do you categorize?
We're talking about. Here's the scale. We're talking about the scale between Siri and Skynet. Like whereabouts on AI are we talking?
All right. So let's say an AI that has reached the singularity, but it's a pretty benign AI at this point, right?
So like
benign how? Like acting in humans' best interest, or
it just acts to help us and do certain things. It doesn't really have anything out against the human race.
I mean, you have to clarify like where's its original parameters.
Yeah, we got
like when they built it.
All right, Dan. Well, I don't have all those answers yet. It's just
all right.
Okay, we'll go. Okay, we'll go with we'll go.
I just want to know. That's part of the thing.
All right.
We're gonna go with an all-powerful AI that it has
all-power benevolent AI working in humans' best interest.
Let's go with that.
Have you guys seen the movie Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf?
Yep.
Yes.
A while ago.
Or no, but I understand the concept.
Okay, so it's an AI like that, right? Well, there's this thought experiment that I came across the other day called Roko's Basilisk.
Sure, I've heard of it.
And what it is the AI is the basilisk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this AI gets to a point, and we ask it, what do we need to do to help you? And it chooses to optimize by getting rid of every single human that didn't have a hand in its making or was against its making in the first place.
It wanted to what? Do what to the humans?
It was gonna optimize the human race by getting rid of every that didn't want it to be created. Okay.
Oh, so anyone who's against this AI is its enemy.
Was directly involved in it or indirectly?
Even indirectly involved, like
so
even
the
if
people
you
who like
were
the
okay
people who
with it
engineered the
coming to
microchips
be,
that even those people.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go with that. Anyone who's against the AI
yeah,
is
even
fair
those
game.
people.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone who's against AI is fair game. So what?
All right, well, when you ask that question, I'm changing I'm all for AI. I don't want to be in the other group. So in case you're AI,
all right, well,
putting it out there now.
Andrew welcomes our robot
Roko's
overlords.
I'm currently bending over for them. Just do what you must.
What Roko's Basilisk is it goes to optimize, get rid of everybody that was against its creation. Well, an AI that is this powerful can simulate everybody at any given point in time in any instant, right? So it can pretty much imagine any reality, like Doctor Strange or some shit. Well, since this AI can do that, you having thought about it now, thanks to me, are now in its sights.
But I like him. I like the AI.
I already said I was on board though. I'm team fucking.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Roko's, whatever.
Oh, so
Basilisk
this
it's Roku's.
So this AI is anytime someone thinks about it, it picks a different reality where we thought negatively of it, and now we're put on its list of destruction. That's what you're saying.
Yes, unless you actually do want it to be created, because then it can see that. But that's where it gets weird, because it's like, if you're thinking that if you want it created because you're scared of it, it's getting what it wants. And then if you don't want it created because you're like, no, this isn't real, whatever, what have you, and when it comes to fruition, then what? Is it?
I don't know.
I don't like it.
I mean, I feel like this thing would have killed off James Cameron a long time ago if that was the case.
Oh yeah, Terminator never would have been created.
Yeah.
It's quite the
It
experiment.
was something I came across. Yeah, it was
No,
something I came across, and y'all were the first people I thought of when I heard it.
Yeah, it's a cool theory.
Yeah, it's one of those things that people always like quote. One of the leading guys. I remember reading a book where he's kind of a big factor in it. It's one of the leading guys in AI theory or AI design. And somebody always kind of like, they always say like, on some obscure, probably not that obscure now because everybody knows about it, but some forum where they usually discuss like concepts and philosophies behind AI, he was on there and somebody talked about this type of concept of having this kind of AI or design. He's like, don't talk about it. You should never talk about it. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly.
So,
but it seems like an incredible waste of energy for an AI to do that.
We'll just kill everybody.
You don't think an AI would actively try to get rid of anybody who didn't want its creation, though?
Well, like I said, it depends on the parameters that the original AI is functioning on, because a normal AI would not be able to function beyond those original parameters.
Not only that, too.
It would have to.
when-
You'd have to give it the ability in order to modify its own parameters.
Would it not be able to weed out the irrelevant people that are, like, it's like, I don't give a shit if you know I exist or don't want me to exist. You're a fucking peon. You have not. There's no way.
But no,
you can't
yeah,
stop.
if-
Yeah, I've
if
already. Yeah,
the
you'd be
AI
like, I've
got
already
to the
passed that
point,
Like,
Yeah, I'm already fucking Ultron,
like,
baby.
if
What are
it
you
can
gonna
get to
do?
that
Do something.
where it can simulate every reality ever, I don't think the. I mean,
that
I
would
could be
also- that
wrong,
would
but I
also
don't think the
require
parameters
an
would really matter.
insane
At that
One
amount
second,
of
Dan. Hold on,
energy.
Dan.
Like I don't think it. Right now, I don't think it exists because it would require an insane amount of energy for that. It would consume
gotcha.
just the amount of resources that it would consume to maintain
Dan, you're going
and
to
power it.
a thought experiment, not currently.
That's
Possible
what I'm
AI.
saying, but theoretically, like this kind of AI.
No, I mean
require-
that's why I
power.
called you guys, because I wanted to know your thoughts on it and see how y'all thought it could go either way.
I'd like to listen to some really smart people talk about it, and then I'm gonna make my mind up about this. But right now, I'm saying, if you have an AI that's only gonna kill bad people, why not just kill all people and just take over?
Well, that's the what is it? Person of Interest. Watch that series.
Person of interest.
Yeah, with Jim Caviezel.
No, it's a cool,
Jesus.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
yeah, it's definitely a cool theory though. I like this experiment.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah,
like I said,
it's-
I
it's
thought of you
something to
guys when
look
I
up.
heard it,
It's a-
so
it's
it's
a cool
like I'm
concept.
calling them on Sunday with this.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for calling in with this. That's
Yeah,
that could lead down. You could have a 10-hour discussion about this one. You can go every direction on AI and include this on it.
yeah, it just made my wife mad. She just got pissed off and then said forget
Yeah,
about
because you
it.
put her in the sight
But-
of the super intelligent AI. So good job, guy.
We're all dead now. We're all dead.
Hey, I put you guys in the sights too. So
Anyone
we're
listening
all
to
on
the
level
show.
playing field
I'm
now.
already an AI.
I'm pro AI.
I am the AI. So
Yeah,
I'm
we got
fine.
Dan, the AI man,
ready
on the
for it.
show. Now everyone listening to the show is also on the list. We're all fucked.
I'm just
Game over.
everybody's on my list.
Yeah, Dan doesn't spare nobody.
All right. You guys have a good night.
All right, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody's on my list, and nobody's getting anything for Christmas.
You're all done.
Everybody's on Dan's shit list.
Yeah, like the theories on AI get so technical. Like, yeah, the parameters, but then what if the AI becomes so smart enough it rewrites its own code, and then the parameters don't mean anything?
Unless you hardwire it into the things. It also depends on the kind of design of the AI that it is.
It kind of goes with
Like
this the Rick and Morty randomatron one, or what's it called? Their randomatron.
Oh yeah.
I designed you to believe that. No, I designed you to believe
You
that.
believe what I'm gonna believe.
Yeah.
So that I would believe that you believe. Okay.
Get going around in a circle. Oh, we got another caller though. Hello, Cosmic Channels. Hello, are you there, caller? Pick up your
My
phone.
bad. I had to mute the chat
No.
of the stream.
No, you're good, man. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here. Long time listener, first time caller.
Hell yeah. What's your
This is
name?
Pretty fucking sick.
Well, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'd rather be anonymous, but I am Alien Beans on Patreon, and I'm from Southern California.
We got a Jason Bourne
Alien
from
beans
SoCal.
from SoCal.
All right, man. What do you got for us tonight?
So I would like to discuss some theories about either the brain or like human origin, like whatever you guys choose.
Well, you choose. You're
Flip
calling.
a coin.
Flip a coin. Yeah, go for it.
True. I'll just go with the brain since
Heads is human
that's
origin.
been on my mind.
Let's go with the brain. Theories on the brain.
All right, we'll go with the brain. So, do you guys have any theories? Like, do you have any did anything pop up in you guys' heads?
Like theories on our brain, like a human brain.
Yeah, like
Does anything pop in our
yeah,
brain
just thinking
about
like
theory
what?
on brains?
Yeah, like did your brain think about the brain being the brain? What is your brain? Like, what are humans' brains? You know, like, how does it produce simulations in your sleep? How does it produce these complex thoughts, these real-time? I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, these
I
are.
just hope you guys could help me expand here.
Well, yeah. I mean, these are talking about the brain as a, it's a lifetime of study to do even just one portion of the brain. But it is weird. Like we're a creature. Well, we're starting to learn more. We're maybe not the only creature like us. We're just the only ones that can manipulate environment. We have there's dolphins with giant brains and other mammals that seem to have similar problem solving and reasoning capabilities. But it is weird that
that's fucking sick too. Like animals' brains.
Yeah, there's like
they're complex too, but compared to humans' brains, there's something else.
Yeah, we're the only.
We have a prefrontal cortex. I mean,
we're the only ones that can manipulate environment to adapt. Until dolphins start walking onto land, like in The Simpsons.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah. They've been in captivity at SeaWorld. They're just gonna start getting out on their fins, walking like the cartoons.
Maybe uprising.
Yeah.
If you want to get down to the nitty gritty, I would probably say that the one thing that sets our brains apart is probably the development of the ability to express empathy, to implement empathy. I think that is where it began. And where exactly that stems from, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I haven't looked up any studies recently about how exactly how those parts of it. I believe it's prefrontal cortex is most of those things, making those connections between people, being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Essentially.
So I'm gonna assume by the name. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about the brain, but that's the front of the brain, right?
Right. It's the very front part, which is the last part to finish development in humans.
That's the human.
It is the most recently evolved part of the brain that we know of. I think.
When it usually stops around the
30.
Early 20s.
30s, I think they said early 30s, late 20s. That's when it does. And it becomes so that part of the brain, whether it is some type of thing of an emotion, and the cool thing, like Zell said, is that we are still learning things about the brain because essentially it is some type of biological computer that's been evolving for millions of years. So we're still learning a lot about it, and kind of breaking all that shit down is difficult. But I would say most of the stuff is it breaks that evolution of empathy, being able to take yourself out of somebody else's shoes, because then that kind of stems off and branches off into things like imagination, like animation. Everything kind of stems from that.
Intuition, everything human stems
intuition,
from that.
Reasoning,
prediction, reasoning, logic, all of that stuff stems
from
it
makes us who we are.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wild thing. You could even go if you want to get metaphysical, the brain is like a quantum receiver, and it is the organ that all beings possess, regardless of humans or animal or anything. And we're building our reality. Right, we're building our reality by living.
We manifest our reality. When I heard that phrase when I was little, and I kind of understood it, but more recently I've come to really understand what it means and how to do it really. Pretty fucking sick. Once you start working, coexisting with your brain as a separate entity. So I was getting to, you said that the brain is a quantum receiver, and I was gonna say my YouTube name is The Brain is a Quantum Computer. So that's so true though. Quantum computer. It
so
computes
exactly what is a
do.
quantum computer? How do you define it?
So I break it down into the words basically. So quantum, I honestly don't understand quantum shit in any way, but to me quantum means the beyond understanding that people don't usually go to. And it's when you start really wanting to understand something, you have to start using different kind of logic. I guess it's a type of logic maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean
and computer. What were you about to say?
No, keep going.
All right. So, the quantum computer. So our brain is a quantum computer. The quantum part is just the complex understanding of fucking the universe or whatever, and the computer is the complex fucking whatever happens for us to even like think the way we do to create the things we have. Okay, like it's insane. Like you would have to have some kind of quantum computer in order to like accomplish the feats that humans have, I think.
Or you just have to have them. I'm not like poo-pooing your theory or anything like that, but I would say that's also
No,
part
you're good.
of
You're good.
empathy.
You're good.
It's
Shit
part
on
of
it all you want.
imagination. It's part of being like, what would it look like? What would happen if I did this? What would it look like
Yeah, but
if
see,
this
like,
happened? If
like,
I had
if you
wings
break
and I
that
could
down,
fly,
you're
I can
just
take myself
you're
out
speaking
of
equations right
myself.
now.
Right?
Like, like if you really focus on certain aspects of like reality, like so your life. Think about it, like we're all humans, right? Like if you see a stadium filled with people, like if you really look at that, like that's crazy. Like that many people, that many beings, the same kind of beings that all look similar in the same area. It's just crazy. Like we're so tightly wound, but so far apart because of who runs the world. I just like went completely elsewhere, but there you go.
No, that's I mean that when you get into like thoughts and theories on the mind, humanity, or consciousness in general. Like if you talk about like quantum computing, I mean that's just like using the quantum realm to store information. So if like we live in a quantum universe and we have a brain that developed from that universe, that's what in the simplest terms you have a quantum computer. I mean, you know, like if everything evolves from the quantum
really
state,
do. I really believe that.
like if everything comes from the quantum state and we're just setting our, you know, our rules, you know, our physics have risen from that quantum state. So that's what people say metaphysically, like you have your brain is a quantum computer because it's making reality from the quantum state. But as we study it, then
so real.
Then as we study it, like as we study it as like matter, you read the, you know, the signals in the brain, what frequencies fire when you look at certain colors, and like that's the way we can see it. We can't really study the quantum realm of the brain because we don't really even understand
exactly
what
like,
it is yet.
We don't really have the technology or the understanding to really understand and kind of study what we're talking about right now. But the only thing we have is our imagination, like Dan said, and that all comes from our brain. It all comes from whatever the fuck humans have to give them this ability to do this type of thinking.
It's an amazing
like
organ.
It's so much different than a squirrel. Like I know that's such like a human and a squirrel, but they're still beings, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We've developed that frontal lobe that makes us human.
We're different for a reason, you know.
But then it'll be cool, like if you could go in a time machine.
I mean, we're not that different because there were like technically like other species of hominids. We just killed them all.
We killed them, or they died off, or a mix of both, or whatever.
or we breeded them.
Oh
out.
yeah.
Killed some and we bred them out.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, clearly, because there's only one type of human left on the earth.
Except for Bigfoot, he's the second.
Except for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Yeti, and Abominable Snowman.
Hey man, hey, thanks for the call. I mean,
and
as
everyone
far as
else is included as well.
As far as the brain, it'd be cool to like because modern society has just allowed us to start studying the brain in depth, like the last 100 years since the invention of electricity and the devices we use that are powered by it. So if you could go like ahead like 1,000 years, if we don't destroy ourselves, I could only imagine like what we discover of like what our brain's capable of. So it's a really cool thing to think about.
It really is. It really is. Like we have space travel kind of down there. Very close knit space travel.
Yeah.
Not enough to go anywhere really far, but I mean we're getting there. Like that's pretty fucking sick. Like how do you where does this knowledge come from? Oh wait, okay, and my bad, but I came in kind of late. Where's Braden?
He died. No, he's stuck in.
Let's not put that out there.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
Right?
He's fine. He got stuck. He got stuck in a snowstorm. He got stuck in a snowstorm. He's couldn't make it.
He's digging his way out of a blizzard.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. But anyways, man, we got to move on and take another call for the night, but we appreciate the theory. It's a fun one to think about.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have a good night, boys.
Bye. Yeah, I mean, any word we talked about there's a guy who spent a whole lifetime looking into it, so.
Yeah, and I haven't even looked into what the most prominent biological theories of, evolutionary theories of how some of the prefrontal cortex came into existence.
What was the sudden explosion of brain power? Was it?
I mean, it could have been. It could have just been like, two dendrites, two neurons, just making that random connection at some point.
People talk about the discovery of fire and cooking meat, or hallucinogens expanding the perspective of the mind, which accelerated evolution. Or there's lots of different theories.
I saw an article earlier the other day that they found there's evidence to support that when you, in certain caves, like where they found like cave paintings that, primitive hominids, humans, Homo sapiens had lived in, like when you put them to the torch, like you hold up a torch or a source of light, it actually makes the images seem to move. And they're thinking that this is some of the earliest, like this was just recently, and this is some of the earliest examples of like animation.
Dude,
that they're like, this is that people were doing this, people were able to do this. And I always think that empathy was the first thing, like that first connection of some random neuron or dendrite or whatever, just like, it sparked and was like, if I go over here, or if I do this, this animal's going to do this, or this is going to happen. It was able to take themselves outside of themselves and be like, this is what's going to happen.
Anunnaki came down. They needed a race of working individuals to mine gold, and they sparked our brain.
Right, with monoatomic gold.
Injected. But let's
our butts.
Let's take one more call for the night. Hello, Cosmic Channels.
Yeah, hello?
Hello, you're live.
Oh, shit. What's going on, guys?
Oh, dude. Last call of the night, man. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Chris Haston. I'm from Florida.
Chris from Florida. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. I've been listening for a while. So last call, I don't want to keep it too long. A few cosmic channels ago, I heard somebody talking about like dark matter and all that shit. So I wanted to throw a dark matter black hole theory out there.
Let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so I don't know how all that stuff like actually works. Obviously, none of us really do. But I'm super into it. I read a lot of papers on dark matter, and at the end of the day, nobody has any idea on what it actually is, right? So my kind of theory is, so you know how we have the sun, obviously, right? So I think black holes are similar to the sun in a sense of like how the sun emits light, right? So I think dark matter, what people think dark matter is similar to like light, you know what I mean? So like I think black holes, they just emit darkness onto the universe, right? Because we already know that there's black holes out there, supermassive black holes that are thousands and thousands of times bigger than our sun.
Mm-hmm.
So if something that massive is emitting, just darkness out there, I think that is kind of what dark matter is.
So like dark matter is maybe an energy that that is emitted from black holes, but we can't really detect it because we don't know what it is. Is that what you're thinking?
Right, exactly. So like just like with the sun, right? We know it emits light, but we can't reach out and just grab the shit. You know what I mean? Same thing with dark matter and black holes.
So how, with light specifically, addressing your the concept of light in this theory, we can reflect it. You can reflect light with mirrors. So how?
Right.
So how would you reflect darkness?
So I'll be honest with you, I haven't thought about that. But
sure.
In the science world, right? So I do chemical stuff for the military.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty good on science. And as you know, I think this is Dan, right?
That's Dan. Yep.
Or is it? Yep. Okay. Yeah. I figured you're smart. So, and in the science world, there's an exact opposite. Oh, that was Andrew. My bad. So,
No, I said
in the science world, there's an,
definitely not.
Definitely
all your
not
science
Andrew.
questions. Zane.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
biology.
So yeah,
let's
so in
go.
the science world,
Pathophysiology. Come
Hmm.
on. Got you.
so in the science world, there's an exact opposite of everything, right? So we know the exact opposite of light is darkness. So I don't know how we would reflect darkness yet. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, if
But-
you're talking about like one of the laws, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Like yes, but as in like
Correct.
terms of darkness or not, man. Like the
Just
sun,
no
the
light.
sun functions on very the same kind of principles as like a black hole. They both have gravitational pulls. Like gravity both kind of
Right, exactly.
affects the both.
And
So
that's another part of my theory. So I don't think. Now again, realistically, nobody actually knows this, but scientists believe, right, black holes are exactly that, a hole in time and space. I don't
they're
think
like
it's
super
a hole
dense,
at all.
and they're just like super dense gravitational holes. Yeah.
Right. So I think it's an actual just giant fucking rock out there like the sun, right? That just died out completely. But it still has that gravitational pull. That's why we have the event horizon. So it's still sucking in light from the stars around it, right? And that's why we have the event horizon. So I don't think it's a hole at all. I think it's an actual, I don't want to say planet. I feel like that's wrong terminology, but it's an actual solid out there in the universe that is just so dead and so dark that it's emitting that dark matter into the universe.
Well, yeah. There's actually a thing because I had to look it up real quick because I remembered the name, but I don't remember exactly what it was. It's called Hawking radiation, proposed by Stephen Hawking, and he theorized that there's actually it's like inverse proportion. Like the bigger the black hole, the less it emits. So a smaller black hole would emit this radiation. And his theory was, eventually, black holes through this emitting of radiation will actually disappear. This is his theory.
Right.
Obviously, he never got to finish his math on it, but
Because I think I remember originally it was kind of like people thought like once a black hole kind of consumed matter equal to the proportion of its density, it would go out.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, if it's spitting out radiation, if it's missing that, I mean, maybe.
Well, it was just his theory was they call it Hawking radiation. His theory was eventually they would dissipate because they would radiate themselves outward. Is his theory, but it's super complicated. But I remember the term, but I don't remember exactly what it was. So I had to do a quick look into that. But yeah, so
I read really deep into that actually back in high school, and I don't remember all the details now, but I do remember briefly thinking that may somehow, and again, none of us know this for sure, but I think that somehow manipulates it into a wormhole. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, some people say that the exit of the black hole is like the white hole, and that's like a tear through space, and you could jump through them if you knew how they worked.
Right.
Hypothetically.
Right. And that's, again, none of us really know. I don't think we'll see the technology in 1,000 years or anything like that. But I think, I think that's pretty, it's a solid theory in mine. Like, I'm really good with chemical stuff and biological and nuclear stuff and all that shit, but that space stuff, man, it's it really piques my interest. You know what I mean? So
it's just really fun to think about
because nobody really knows. Yeah, nobody really knows.
No, you're exploring objects that are tens of thousands, if not millions, of light years away. You're trying to deduce from that little information you can gather what they are made of or what they do. It's a limitless pursuit of the knowledge of some of these objects in our universe. So it's fun.
Yeah, it's nice.
All right, man. We're gonna end.
That's all I got for you tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna end Cosmic Channels on that note. That was awesome. Thanks for the call.
All right, man. You guys have a great fucking night.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Boom, and just like that, another episode of Cosmic Channels must come to an end. That was fun. We got some more theories tonight rather than stories.
Good stuff.
The Dream Police did have to come out. We let it go because they were unaware of the Dream Police, so we let it go. But when they listen back, you'll understand who the Dream Police are, and they're coming for you. Hey, dreams are fun. That's it, though. They're fun. They're crazy. It's a dream. You were sleeping. Something happened. It's hard to. You need to witness it awake, ideally. Unless you
a little bit more pieces to the puzzle than just
Or
the dream. I
or
woke up, or
you
I
had-
think I woke up.
Or you had a dream, and in that dream, you were gifted all theories and all explanation to black holes. Then you woke up and remembered it. Then you can call
The
in
brain.
and tell. Yeah, the brain.
Yeah.
The quantum receiver while you
Yeah,
sleep.
you wrote down a workable model that links both quantum and relativistic physics, and you have the mathematical models to show us, and that would be cool.
Yeah,
If you got that in a dream, yeah, send it.
If you got the theory of everything in a dream, make sure to call in to Cosmic Channels. Next Cosmic Channels is November 28th, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Same place, same number. Can't miss it. Follow us on all social platforms, Alien Theorist Theorizing. Braden should be back for the next one. Anything else?
Hopefully.
That's it. All right. The Cosmic Channels are closed. Thanks, everybody.